Two young girls.
Reading buzz.
And you are quite sure, Daddy, I'm not dreaming? That I'm sitting right here with my arms around your neck and you have just told me it is all perfectly true?
And to make still more certain that the whole matter was one of unquestionable reality, the girl gave her parents such a flesh and blood hug that a physical answer came in the shape of a protest.
Now, see here, little captain.
He remarked.
It is all very well to make sure we are not dreaming and that all the good news is real. But please remember, your tactics are quite military. You are acquiring muscle.
Major Dale kissed his daughter fondly as she relinquished her hold on him and smoothed back a stray lock of his silvery hair.
I'm so glad for you, Daddy.
She went on.
You do so need a real rest. And now we will not have to plan every day what we may spend tomorrow. Dear me, I feel the good of that money already. We can have so many luxuries. No more scrimping and patching.
But daughter dear,
Interrupted the Major.
you must not imagine that mere money can bring happiness. It depends entirely upon the proper use of that commodity. We must always exercise good judgment.
Oh, of course. I know we are not so very rich. We cannot just exactly live sumptuously. But we may live comfortably. And really, Daddy, now that it is over, I may as well own up. I have longed with the longest kind of longing for a brand new hat. May I really have one? Ribbons and all?
2. One for Sunday and one for every day.
Promptly responded the Major, laughing.
When will the money come?
She asked, tilting her head to one side to get a look in the small oval mirror. That was sufficiently large for the Major's neckties, but was plainly too short for her hats.
We won't get it by the pound like butter, you know, daughter. Nor is it a matter of so many blank checks to be filled out as we progress with penmanship, like copybook work. As a matter of fact, I have just received the legal information that my dear old soldier uncle Ned, otherwise known as Captain Edward Dale on the retired list, President of India, subject of Great Britain, has answered the last roll call and left what he had to me. Uncle Ned was the hero of our family, daughter dear, and someday I will tell you why you are my little captain, his own successor.
A commotion on the side porch interrupted their confidences, and the Major took advantage of it to make his escape. While the commotion presently made its way in at the door in the shape of Tavia Travers, Dorothy's warmest friend in everything.
Hooray for the good news!
Shouted Tavia, flinging her sailor hat up to the ceiling and catching it as promptly.
3 cheers for the money. When will it come? Give a fella some. Tiddlum-tum-tum. I have to say bunny to make a rhyme with money.
And Tavia swung around like a pinwheel to bring her verse to an effective full stop. A way she had of punctuating her impromptu productions. Dorothy made a comical squat to add more finish, and then the two girls, feeling better, sat down to talk it over quietly.
Are you perfectly positive, certain, sure that it's just you, Dorothy Dale, and no fairy or mermaid?
Began Tavia, settling herself among the cushions on Major Dale's sofa.
Of all the delicious, delectable things, to have a rich old uncle die way off in India, where you don't even have to make your nose red at his funeral, and to leave you $1 million? Oh, not quite a million.
Interrupted Dorothy.
Something considerably less than that, I believe. But it's all kinds of money, I know. Went on the other. Dear me, I do wish some kind of money would run in our family, even with red noses thrown in. But no such luck. Tavia Travers, how dare you talk so of such serious things? How else would you have me talk of serious things? The most serious thing in my life is money. Its scarcity. It is nice to think that the dear old captain should be so good to father,
said Dorothy.
Father was always his favorite relative, and he particularly liked him on account of his military honors. Well, he ought to, of course,
put in Tavia.
But what in the world are you going to do with all the money? Don't, for goodness sake, go away for your health and other things, and leave poor me to die here without nobody nor nothing.
And the girls burst into make-believe tears.
Indeed,
said Dorothy.
We can enjoy the good fortune in no place better than in dear old Dalton and among our own good friends.
And she put her arms affectionately about Tavia.
But one thing has been definitely decided upon. You are going to buy the Harvey mansion? No, a new hat. Father has just this minute given his consent. I have a hankering for a Gainsborough. The kind the lady hanging over Aunt Weenie's stairs wears. The picture queen, you know. Oh, yes. She looks very nice in a picture over the stairs,
remarked Tavia.
But my advice to you would be to wear elastic under your chin with a thing like that, or else try Gulliver's glue. One breeze of the Dalton kind would be enough for a Gainsborough. You shall help me pick it out. Agreed, Dorothy. In the meantime, don't sit on the only one I have. I just left it on the sofa as you came in. And if it isn't the dearest, sweetest thing now,
exclaimed Tavia, rescuing the mass of perishables she had unwittingly pressed into something like a funeral piece. No one who knew Tavia Travers would have considered her capable of worry. She was as light-hearted as air, with a great faculty for mischief and a hankering for fun. But she did have a worry, a fear that someday Dorothy Dale might pass out of her life and end the attachment that came in childhood and waxed strong with girlhood. Dorothy was what might be considered a girl of the aristocratic class, while Tavia belonged to those who consider it a privilege to work for a living and have a keen appreciation of the opportunity, as Squire Travers proved when he turned in to show himself the best official in the capacity of squire, of which Dalton ever boasted. Now a new danger threatened Tavia. Dorothy would be almost rich. Would that help to break the ties of love and friendship between the girls? Not that Dorothy could ever change in her sincere love for Tavia, but might not circumstances separate them, and then? Tavia had been first to congratulate Dorothy on the good news, and the smashed hat had furnished an incident sufficiently distracting to keep Tavia from the lamentations that had first filled her heart.
Then you think you will stay in Dalton?
Asked Tavia, finally, as Dorothy succeeded in pulling the smashed hat back into some kind of shape, if not the right kind.
Why not?
Asked Dorothy.
Are there not plenty of good people in Dalton? Oh, a few, perhaps. There's me and Johnny. But we are not out yet. And you will be looking for society friends. Well, here's good luck to you with your Indian millions. And don't forget that in your poorest days, I used to lend you chewing gum.
And at this, Tavia threw her arms around Dorothy in a warm embrace.
See, sis,
Exclaimed Dorothy.
do you realize that this is the very day you are to go for an automobile ride with Ned White? And that you are to go in the same machine with Ned White? Of course I do, you selfish girl. So taken up with common money that you never noticed my get-up. Look at this.
And Tavia drew from the folds of her skirt a cloud of something.
Automobile whale.
She explained, giving the flimsy stuff a turn that sent it floating through the air like a cloud of smoke.
Splendid!
Declared Dorothy.
Glorious!
Remarked Tavia.
The real thing, I found it in an old trunk among dear old Grandma Trevor's things. And Grandma loved it dearly. I persuaded Mother to let me inherit it. And smell.
Putting the grey cloud of silk to Dorothy's face.
That perfume is lavender. Grandma always used it. What a dear old lady she must have been, said Dorothy, looking over the dainty article critically. You are not really going to wear it, she faltered, realizing the value of such heirloom. No, I'm not, but you are. There, Doro darling, it is a gift for you from me. You will always keep it and love it. Indeed. I will do no such thing as to take your dear grandma's things. You must always keep this yourself. But I want you to, Doro. It will make me happy to know I have given you something good, something I have loved, and something you will love for me there.
And she put the scarf over Dorothy's blonde head.
You look like an angel. Grandma herself will be proud all the way from heaven to see this fall upon the shoulders of one so worthy in face and in heart.
And the two stood there clasped in each other's arms, the silvery veil of love falling about the shoulders of both and binding all the way to heaven in its folds of sweetest lavender the hearts of two young girls.